I'm Wes Larson, a wildlife biologist and lover of the outdoors for as long as I can remember. I'm traveling the country to find the next generation of conservationists, the people on the front lines of the fight to understand our planet and protect the animals we share it with. My first stop takes me all the way down to the southern wilds of Florida, also known as the Everglades. They're huge, hot, and home to one of the fiercest predators on the planet, the American alligator. These researchers from the University of Florida have taken me deep into the swamp to survey the local gator population.
Oh, we got a gator.
Cool. Wow. Let's see. Gosh. I just gotta say, like, ever since I was a kid, I fantasized about coming to Florida and meeting alligators up close.
Alligators are at the top of the food chain, crucial to maintaining the ecological balance of the Everglades. But despite this dominance, alligators are under threat from a foreign invader that no one saw coming, the Argentine black and white tegu. Facing that threat head on are UF researchers JENNA and Sarah Cook.
How's it going?
Hi, what's up?
I'm Wes.
I'm JENNA, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So we are out here looking for invasive reptiles
Yes,
today.
so we're going to be looking for the Argentine black and white tegu. They're just a huge problem preying on our native species.
Tegu populations have exploded in recent years, so JENNA and Sarah are painstakingly trapping and removing them, one by one.
So how many traps are we going to be checking?
So we've got 160 traps out here.
A long way.
Yeah, so it's a pretty extensive trap line.
160 traps spread over miles of uninhabited marshland. Where do you even begin? Well, you start at trap number 1.
So our first trap of the day.
Yep, this will be the first one. And it looks like we've got something.
Oh, cool. That is so crazy.
Yeah.
He's biting at the trap. Kind of a scary little predator, like a little dinosaur.
Yeah, they are little dinosaurs.
And all you had in this trap to bait him in was a chicken egg.
Yep, just a single chicken egg. So
Yeah.
if you could imagine a whole nest of alligator eggs.
I mean, he just looks like a little egg eater.
But it's not only alligators that are at risk. Tegus will eat just about anything.
The ground nesting birds, the turtles, snakes,
Yeah.
all of those animals are potential prey for these large lizards.
A single tegu can consume an entire nest of eggs in one sitting, so we don't take any chances. It's straight into the bag for removal.
So I'm bagging my first tegu here. There we go.
You got it. Up and down, like.
Up and down.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Voila.
Cool.
Ta-da!
One down.
All right.
Let's catch 160 more.
Right?
We have to be very conscious of where we're holding the bag because they can actually bite you through the bag.
Definitely.
You've been bit through the bag before. Okay.
Yeah. You also have to watch if you set the bag down, they can run away in the bag.
Yes.
And so
Oh, really?
if we ever have to sit down on the ground, we'll step
You
on the
just see
bag
a
while
bag.
we're doing whatever. Oh yeah,
Okay.
the bag just hops away.
Yes.
That's crazy.
The farther we go, the more apparent it is just how many tegus are crawling around out here.
Man. Another one down. Ooh, he's excited.
Ooh. We've got another one, guys.
Oh, we got another one.
Awesome. Grumpy one.
Yeah. I can't believe how many there are out here. There's a ton.
There is a full breeding population of them.
Saving the Everglades, one tegu at a time.
One tegu at a time.
This is the end of the line for these tegus. Each one that JENNA and her team captures is brought back to the lab and euthanized. And that's tough for a reptile lover like JENNA.
You really have to look at a big picture. I like tegus, and it's unfortunate that there is no alternative, but it's not just that we're removing them and that's it. We are using them to learn more about the species so that we can mitigate and prevent them from causing more terrible damage than what's going on already.
Yeah, that's not a small one, huh?
No, he's not a small one.
A couple hundred yards from where we just caught a tegu, in this little canal, there's a pretty big alligator just kind of hanging out. So it shows that they really are occupying the same space. It's not impossible to imagine a nest around here.
He's coming up.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
We caught a number of tegus today out here. They're from Argentina originally, so how did they get to Florida?
The general consensus on how the tegus got here is through the pet trade. They were either released or escaped into the ecosystem. They're very small and very cute when they're first sold and first hatched.
Yeah.
And as they grow, people tend to realize that they may be in for a lot more than they bargained for.
And then, in the middle of the swamp, we come across one very special tegu.
So we've got a tegu here that has a transmitter on it. So I believe that means that we actually get to pull him out after we bag him, and I actually get to get my hands on him. That's right?
Yep,
Cool.
We'll go ahead and get him out.
In this vast wilderness, the research team has transmitters on only 6 tegus, so it's a real stroke of luck that we found this one.
What do you think, Wes?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was gonna
it's
say,
like-
when they squirm, you don't grab their tail.
Yeah, and that's just because it can detach.
Yeah, he'll drop it.
I can definitely tell that there's some real strength. We've obviously got a tegu out of the trap that we're handling, so why is it that we're able to pull this one out?
We are actually following him around and learning more about where he lives and what he's doing out here so that we can learn more ways to effectively trap and remove them from this Everglades system.
He's like a little spy for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like a double agent.
It's hard to believe that something as small as releasing some pet lizards can threaten the health of an entire ecosystem. My time here has proven to me just how delicate that balance can be. The scientists we met from UF are fighting a daily battle to right some of our wrongs. It's hot, humid, and frustrating work, but these biologists care deeply about native species, and tagging along helped me understand just how important their battle is. Today I'm headed into the desert, due west of Salt Lake City. I'm on my way to a remote research station in the GOSHUTE Mountains of Nevada.
You can just barely start to see the GOSHUTEs out there in the distance.
So remote, in fact, that researchers spend months at a time on site. You have to be an especially hardcore conservationist to sign up for this job.
Hey man,
Must be Wes?
you must be Jesse.
Yeah, man. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
You ready to see some hawks?
I am.
Jesse Watson is a research biologist with Hawkwatch. This is his second season on the mountain, but he's been working with birds since he was a kid.
This is a long-term raptor monitoring site. We've been counting and catching hawks here since the early 80s, so about 35 years.
We're gonna hike all the way up to 9,000 feet.
Yeah, man, all the way to the top.
There are no roads to the camp. Supplies are flown in by helicopter or carried up on your back.
Starts getting fairly steep in this next section, a lot of switchbacks.
But it's worth it for these birds.
Raptors are kind of a barometer for the ecosystem. They're at the top of the food chain. And so if they're not doing well, then there's an indication that something is wrong.
The Hawkwatch researchers live full-time on the mountain, counting hawks by day and sleeping in tents at night.
Welcome to camp.
And where's the hot tub?
Yeah.
For Hawkwatch to study these birds up close, they have to catch them first. And here's where an unexpected member of the team comes into play.
So raptors are migrating along the ridge. They're hungry. So we use pigeons as part of our team to help us capture them.
And I noticed you've got these harnesses for your pigeons, just to make sure that, you know, if the hawk comes in, it's not actually gonna hurt it.
Absolutely. I mean, they're a pretty critical member of our team, and we definitely treat them with the utmost respect.
With our pigeons safely in place, we settle into the trapping blind and meet Scott, one of Hawkwatch's veteran crew leaders.
So how are we doing, Scott? How's the flight?
Good, really good. It's actually pushing our biggest day. There's a lot of birds thermaling up out there.
And before we knew it,
Got him. You're just wondering what's going on right now, huh? So yeah, we've been in this blind like, I don't know, 5 minutes. We already caught a Cooper's hawk.
catching the birds doesn't hurt them in any way.
Okay, sweetie, there you go. right in the can. I see you're being very delicate with those talons as you pull it out.
Yeah, so the thing you really got to watch with raptors is their feet and their bill are the two things that can really tear you up.
And in just a couple of minutes, each bird is given a checkup and a tracking band.
She's banded.
She's banded.
You got jewelry. It's so crazy to me how calm she is as she's in this little tube.
Right.
Like she's not chirping, she's not struggling, she's just totally relaxed.
So those are the main body measurements: weight, wing chord, and standard tail.
Yeah.
The GOSHUTE Mountains are a kind of superhighway for migrating raptors, and over just a couple of hours, we banded 7 different birds. Overall at this site, Hawkwatch researchers have assessed and banded over 65,000 different raptors.
Yeah, so the next step is basically releasing her.
So this one's ready to go. We banded her. She is definitely ready. Just the way they like look at you, it's just so intent. Like it's like they're just looking straight through you almost.
Yeah, man.
You ready, hon?
There she goes.
Pretty cool. I bet you don't get tired of that.
No, never gets old.
Yeah.
Definitely not. There she is right there.
Yeah.
While catching and banding is crucial for assessing individual birds, the status of raptor populations is what Jesse cares about most. So the bulk of the team's work looks like this. During migration season in the fall, the researchers are out here every single day, literally counting each bird that flies by. Through the years, they've counted over 13 million, one by one.
You want to kind of start below horizon and just kind of scan up slowly.
And if I see a bird, I just yell it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Counting birds can be tedious. It means watching the skies for hours.
So what's that one down there?
Oh, yeah.
Right over the ridge.
Oh, yeah, that's an adult red tail. So Wes got a bird down here, just going down low. The counting itself is the most important thing that we do. Year after year after year, we can get those trends. So we can see like, hey, these numbers are going up or they're going down. We've seen declines in species like golden eagles and American kestrels on migration through these counts.
The idea that I'm getting is that if you guys like weren't up here on this ridge, in the cold, in the wind, for months at a time, all day long, counting these birds, like no one would really have any idea what the numbers are doing.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a real dedicated effort. You really have to commend our crews that are counting and doing the work.
When you work in conservation, you sometimes forget that when people see the studies, they don't see the hard work, meticulous data collection, and luck that you need to get the results. Standing on this mountain, seeing Hawkwatch's efforts firsthand is a great reminder of the real, tangible work that goes into this kind of conservation. This time around, I'm on the West Coast, just north of Monterey Bay. I'm meeting up with an elephant seal research team at the University of California, Santa Cruz.
Hey.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Nice to see you. We've got a busy day ahead, so if you could grab one of these jackets, and then we will head up to the beach.
Rachel Holzer has been studying elephant seals at the Costa Lab for 4 years and believes tracking elephant seals could hold the key to a deeper understanding of the ocean as a whole. Our mission this morning is to attach some high-tech tracking tags to an elephant seal. But not just any seal will do.
We are a little bit particular about the animals we put satellite tags on, so an adult female over 4 years old and under 13 years old hasn't been tracked before and has been on the beach for nearly a month.
In short, they're looking for a seal that has had her pup and is ready to head back out into the sea. Rachel tells me that there are 7 promising candidates on the beach today, which sounds like a lot to me. But then I see the colony for the first time.
We just kind of rounded this hill and suddenly all these seals are spread out in front of us. One thing that's super surprising is the amount of vocalization that's going on. All the seals kind of talking to each other out here.
It's a lot to take in. The seals are big, loud, and absolutely cover the beach.
Take binos, take a recite data book for sure. And yeah, we'll see what we can find.
As the researchers are fanning out, they're just going seal to seal trying to find the particular female that they're trying to tag today.
With a couple thousand seals on the beach, it's like looking for a needle in a very noisy and potentially dangerous haystack. But it's worth the risk. Turns out, if you want to study the farthest reaches of the ocean, elephant seals are natural deep-sea explorers.
They go way out into the middle of the North Pacific, and they dive far deeper than anybody thought was possible.
And eventually, Rachel spots the perfect seal.
If you're looking straight down, there's two animals back to back. One has a pup nursing on her right side. I think that is her. We had a good look at her, so we're estimating her mass at about 340 kilograms. So we're gonna pull up a 3.4 cc dose of Tilazol.
And so you physically just go up and put the needle in them.
Yep, that is how this goes.
It's a big needle. It's to get through all that blubber.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big male over there. It's actually the alpha male of this colony. So we're kind of just waiting for them to get positioned in a way to where the researchers can go in, sedate the seal, and then attach their tag.
This is the most dangerous part of the research. Rachel has to inject the sedative by hand, and elephant seals can be unpredictable.
They are very dangerous animals. I know they look pretty lazy and sleepy if they're on a beach, but they can move surprisingly quickly and react surprisingly quickly. And the big guys, you know, the males are almost 2 tons, and they can run as fast as a person can run. We spend years being trained to work with them properly.
Did you get the seal stuck?
Yes, we did. Oh! Just keep a light hand on her nose just in case she pulls that again.
So there's like a bunch of different things going on right now. It's pretty impressive. Teresa's taking these ultrasound measurements with the blubber. These 2 collaborators are putting on the epoxy for this tag that we're attaching to get that oceanographic data. And then on top, we're also attaching a VHF tag. Rachel's kind of organizing everyone and directing everyone to do what they're doing.
Grab another popsicle stick.
Meanwhile, as always, we have all these other seals, so we kind of always have to be keeping an eye on to make sure that no one's coming up and aggressively kind of challenging the group.
Whoa. Thank you, Patrick. We've been monitoring the population at Año Nuevo for between 3 and 4 decades now. If the elephant seals are not doing well, that means that something is really going sideways down in the food web.
So we got another seal kind of creeping back here. All right, so yeah, one of the really cool things about these tags is they're actually recording oceanographic information with them. All sorts of things that they would normally record with like a really expensive research vessel, they're using these seals kind of as that research vessel.
And elephant seals make exceptionally good research vessels. After they leave the colony, they swim out into the Pacific for thousands of miles, diving over a mile below the surface. And all the while, the tags will be collecting data. What you end up with is a 3-dimensional profile of the ocean. That is, if all goes as planned.
It's just so crazy to have like this happening 20 feet away, 10 feet away, as we're working on the seal.
At times, it reminded me of being in an ER.
Half CC cat.
At others, it was like being on another planet, surrounded by hostile aliens.
One thing that's really interesting is this kind of like matador act that they have going on. It's just a tarp. I mean, if the thing wanted to come through it totally can. So at all points, we have to be ready to kind of back off and run away if one of these seals kind of crosses that threshold of safety.
But through the chaos, the team gets it done, deploying 3 different tags and giving the seal a full checkup.
All right, you guys can go ahead and roll her on Teresa's count.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Good breath. Go ahead and pull it.
So far, so good.
With the science complete, there's one important step left, waiting for our seal to wake up.
We'll stay nearby so that if a male decides to try and mate with her, we can prevent it. We're fully responsible for the well-being of the animal until she is capable of taking care of herself. So it looks like our female's doing really well. She's recovering nicely. She's moved back into the group, and hopefully in about 3 days, she'll head off to sea and give us lots of awesome data.
Looking out at the colony, it's hard to imagine that 100 years ago, elephant seals nearly disappeared.
They did almost go extinct back in the early 1900s. Once the seal was protected and hunting was no longer permitted, they rebounded, and they have been spreading ever since.
And now you guys are using them in all these kind of new novel ways to like learn more about the ocean, to protect other species.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found that conservation success can sometimes be as simple as changing perceptions. Rachel and her team have shown that an animal that appears to just lie around on a beach is actually an incredible traveler and athlete. And by harnessing their power, we are able to gain a deeper understanding of the ocean. It makes me wonder how else we could be working with wildlife to protect the planet that we all share.